Stop the cap. Stop the cap. So unless you've been sleeping under a rock, things have heated up. Things are heating up between Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants, and not heating up in a good way. I'm enjoying myself, man. The last 2 days have been a roller coaster of emotions all over social media, all over sports media. Can't say that you're surprised. Well, hopefully you can't say that you're surprised at what's going on. So let's just go through the clip notes here. So let's go through the clip notes. So yesterday, there's a rumor that Saquon Barkley turned down $26 million guaranteed. Fast forward to today. Actually, let me step back to yesterday. Saquon Barkley actually replied to one of those tweets and had the emoji of a blue baseball cap. So, stop the cap. Somebody's lying. Stop the cap. That's what he was saying in that tweet. Fast forward today. We hear now that the highest offer was $19.5 million guaranteed. So right now, yesterday you're hearing $26 million. Today you're hearing 19.5. And to me, it's a game of chess. I don't know who to believe. I'm just enjoying the game, the match right now between the New York Giants and Saquon Barkley's representative team. And I want to send a quick shout out to Ron Effect. He put out a video earlier today. Thought it was fantastic. Just his reaction to what is going on, the situation from his point of view of why is this happening. And he told me, he said, why break up a happy home for some dollars? And it's funny to me because I do agree with him. But I just think his analogy was spot on. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check out that video. Again, this is Ron Effect. But again, for me, I can't do anything but smile right now because, again, I saw it coming. To me, I did not want Joe Schoen to budge on whatever the offer was. I didn't want him to budge. I didn't want him to crack because he offered a deal. And then if the proof was in the pudding, Joe Schoen has not given anybody since he's been here a disrespectful contract. Even when it comes to Dexter Lawrence, it was a fair contract for both sides. And I'm just sitting here and I'm wondering, okay, so who's lying? We heard $26 million yesterday. We heard $19.5 million today. Who was lying? And the sad thing about it is, if Saquon Barkley ends up playing on the tag, we will never know what the real numbers were. We would never know what the guaranteed money was. We would never know what the years were going to be. We would never know, the overall contract money. We would never know unless somebody just decides to leak it and the other side confirms it. Because right now, I can say to you that somebody is lying and then somebody is being lied to. So, yeah, man. So, what I'll say is this. If the rumor of the $26 million guaranteed is true, then shame on Saquon Barkley for turning that deal down. If the rumor is true about the 19.5 being offered from the Giants to Saquon Barkley, then I can say that that's a disrespectful offer. I can say that, they shouldn't have offered him something that low, but then I started thinking about it. And what if the New York Giants are really not sold on Saquon Barkley for more than this year? That's the only way in my mind that the 19.5 makes sense. They're like, okay, we signed Daniel Jones. We added all these weapons to the offense. We have Saquon Barkley on the tag for at least one more year. We really don't know what to expect from him. So how about we offer him either play on the tag or play on a 2 to 3 year deal with 19.5 million guaranteed. Now here's the thing, we only see the 19.5 guaranteed, and obviously everybody's up in arms at the 19.5 million. But obviously that is the base, that is the guaranteed. We don't know what the incentives might have been. We don't know what the overall contract. What if it was 3 years, 30 million, 19.5 guaranteed? That means upon his performance, Saquon Barkley would have the chance of making $30 million. Again, these are hypothetical numbers that I'm making up in my mind, but just say that. All we see now is the 19.5, and again, everybody is up in arms. So for me, I'm just sitting back and I'm like, I expect him to play on the tag. I didn't expect the deal to get done. If a deal got done, fine, I wouldn't be surprised either, but I'm expecting Saquon Barkley to either hold out, because now that those numbers are released, it's almost like Saquon Barkley has to hold out to probably save face. If a deal doesn't get done, he would have to hold out. But then there's a lot of caveat when it comes to that as well, because you can't help but think about another running back in his prime holding out and what it did for him as far as his future in his career, and it wasn't good for him. It wasn't good for him. So for Saquon Barkley, he has a hard decision to make, and he did comment that he needed to speak with his family, he needed to speak to his team about what he's going to accept. But when you really think about it, he really doesn't have a choice in the matter. I'm not smiling to laugh. I'm smiling because I'm surprised that it got this far. I'm surprised that we're 3 days away now, from the franchise tag deadline, and Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants have made no headway in this deal. We are at the same spot we were in today that we were in at the beginning of free agency, and that's nowhere. I will say this too. When it comes down to the offense and possibly playing games without Saquon Barkley, for Mike Kafka, that means you'll have to be even more creative in what you do with this team. You no longer will have the crutch for however long he wants to hold out for, because if he does hold out, I don't think he holds out for the whole season. You do not have the crutch of Saquon Barkley anymore with this offense. So that means the guys behind him need to step up, the offensive line needs to step up, and then Daniel Jones has to step up in order for this team to be successful without Daniel Jones. And I think the New York Giants can absolutely be successful or win games without Saquon Barkley. I just hope we don't have to see that, because I think that this team thrives with Saquon Barkley, but we can absolutely survive without him. But man, 3 days away. I thought that, I was just going to hold back and just wait for this thing to play out. But with everything that's going on, I had to come on here. I had to share my point of view. I had to give you guys my thoughts. So you guys go ahead and give me your thoughts. What you think is going to happen? Do you think if he doesn't, if he doesn't sign the tender, do you think he holds out, and how long will he hold out for? How many games is he willing to miss? And for the New York Giants, what do you think happens? Will the New York Giants be able to do a running back by committee in order to not replace Saquon Barkley, but at least be able to have an average of 3 to 4 yards rushing with the guys they have behind them right now? So that's going to be the question. And again, to me, a lot of this depends on the success of the offensive line. So I want to thank you guys for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Relax, calm down. We're 3 days away. This thing is almost over. This rodeo of an off season that we're having is almost over. Thank you very much for watching. Let's go.